Good morning, friends. Good morning. Let's sing a morning song together, shall we? The song is Keep Your Heart Wide Open by Leah Morris, and the words are up here on the screen. And it's so wonderful to have the choir back with us. And the choir's going to... Yeah. Woohoo. I feel a good woohoo. Goes like this. Keep your heart wide open. Try it. Keep your heart wide open. Though the waves want to push you around. And it's really fun if you go, want to push you around, just like you felt it go, push you around. You could even do that with your body. Just feel the wave push you around. Here we go again, right from the top. 1, 2, ready, and keep your heart wide open, though the waves want to push you around. Feel the silence, and we go again. You gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. Pretty good, huh? Easy, easy peasy. It's a circle song, so of course there's going to be other elements. This element's going to be one of yours, this melody right here. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, ready, and keep your heart wide open till your waves want to push you around. Lots of silence here. You gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. Got it? Then you have one more element that's going to happen, and this is it. Keep your heart open. 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 Feel that motion of the waves. Keep your heart open. So we'll start with the first one. Then I'm going to bring in the different parts in the choir, and then I'll invite you to join me on the Keep Your Heart Open, or you can stay wherever you want. If you make up a fifth part, that'll be just fine. All right. Are you ready? Yeah. You always sing better if you smile. That's fact. That's science, okay? You sing better. All right, one time through with the melody, and then you keep going with the melody, and I'm going to bring in the choir on different parts. 1, 2, ready, and keep your heart wide open, though the waves want to push you around. You gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. Let's do it again. Here we go. And keep your heart wide open till the waves want to push you around. I'm gonna keep your heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. Got it. Wide open. Till your faith, till my faith brings me back to solid ground. Till my faith take it around again. Back to solid ground. I'm gonna keep your heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open. Though the waves want to push you around. Though the waves want to push Now we're going to switch. Keep your heart open. 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 Keep me around. I'm gonna Do you want to save? Yes, because we're going to sing it for the closing hymn. I know. Thank you. Wonderful.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Olympia UU congregation. Our community envisions an interconnected world that is loving, just, and healthy. We commit to live out our mission to welcome and wonder, embrace and empower, bridge and become. Thank you for joining us today. You're welcome just as you are, whatever beliefs sustain you, whomever you love, however you understand and express your identity, and in all the ways you're still becoming the person you want to be. My name is Kurt Hill. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a member of the worship arts team. Leading worship today with me is Minister Reverend Mary Geer, Troy Fisher, our music director, and Reverend Sarah Lewis, the Director of Community and Faith Development. Here are a few things to know about our service today. We're streaming live on Zoom and YouTube, and the service is being recorded. For those of you in the sanctuary, you can see the sometimes creative subtitles in the screen in front of you. Or, if you're online, in the chat. Over here, we have fluffy chairs, which are actively being used, and activities so everyone can be comfortable during service. We are a multi-generational community, and we value our young ones. Kids, babies, and teens are welcome in the sanctuary. We also have a nursery care and story time program for children in the classroom ring. We're grateful for the many hands that have helped make worship happen this morning. Thanks to all who contribute in so many ways. A special thanks today to the OUUC sewing ministry for the beautiful quilts hanging around the room. If you haven't looked, look at the quilts they're awesome. They're beautiful. After the service, everyone will have a chance to discuss reflection questions offered by Reverend Mary. For those online, we invite you to go to a breakout room for a virtual coffee chat. For those in person, please feel free to stay for coffee and fellowship in the Commons. At 11:30, after the coffee chat, please return to the sanctuary for a building blessing, a time for gratitude and celebration of our return to this beautiful space. Thursday evenings, community dinners have started again. Join us for a shared meal at 5:30, followed by classes and other activities. You can find the details in the weekly update. Lastly, singer-songwriter Roy Zimmerman returns to OUUC on Saturday, September 23rd at 7 p.m. Roy's concerts, I'm told, I haven't heard him, but I'm told, are full of witty satire and excellent guitar work. Roy is attested to by Troy. Roy and Troy. Come join the fun. There are many things happening at Olympia UU. Adult ed classes are starting again, as well as covenant groups to explore monthly spiritual themes. Check out the Tuesday electronic update or the website for the most up-to-date information. Now, let us open our hearts and minds as we prepare for worship. It is good to be together. With deep humility, we take a moment to acknowledge that we are on the unceded land of the Stay Chas people. The land and water is their traditional territory, as well as that of the Squaxin, Cowlitz, Nisqually, and the Coast Salish tribes. The surrounding mountains, valleys, shorelines, and waterways are imbued by their presence. May we hold in reverence this sacred land and water. May we nurture our relationship with our Coast Salish neighbors and our shared responsibilities to this place, their homelands, where we mutually abide. This morning, we join Unitarian Universalist congregations all around the world in lighting a chalice, the symbol of our faith tradition. If you're online and you have a chalice or candle, please join me as we light our chalices together with the words of Arianan Kirkpatrick. We gather here from all directions. Some come from the east, bringing inspiration like a breath of fresh air. Some come from the south, filled with passion and expectations under the warmth of the sun. Some come from the west, flowing like water in the rivers or like waves upon the ocean. Some come from the north, strength pulled from the earth and solid in convictions and thought. All come together here, uniting in the flame of this chalice that represents the love and care we hold for one another. For this place and for our faiths, whatever they may be under this sky, this roof, this place we call home.
Welcome. I'm Reverend Mary, and I use she, her pronouns. I am an older white woman with brown curly hair with a fair amount of silver. I'm wearing glasses and a black dress and my stole that looks like water. Our opening words this morning are from the Reverend Allison Palm. We gather this morning on the brink of a new congregational year. Some of us come fresh from summer adventures, from wind and waves and sunshine. Some of us come broken down from summer losses, from tears and pain and heartache. Some of us come renewed from summer rest, from peace and solitude and contemplation. Some of us come wearied from summer monotony, from work and heat and sameness. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever gifts and needs you bring here, you are welcome here. Come, let us worship together.
Let's raise our voices in singing again. Hymn number 1013, Open My Heart. The lyrics will also be projected if you want to look for them there. I invite you to rise in body and spirit, and let's make a song together. Here we go. And again. It makes a great round, so let's do round it, shall we? Can we have the altos and sopranos with this side of the congregation? Basses and tenors with this side. Here we go. We'll sing it 3 times through. Sopranos and altos, you'll start it. 1, 2, 3, ready, and. Here we go, basses and tenors. Thank you. Please be seated.
Hello, I'm Reverend Sarah. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a middle-aged white woman with dark brown curly hair, wearing a navy blue dress, a stole that has water and sea creatures on it, and today my blue blingy reading glasses. Today, we will join many Unitarian Universalist congregations in celebrating water communion. In a few minutes, we'll share our water. For those online, you'll have the chance to share your water too. If you haven't gathered some water wherever you are, this would be a good time to do so. We have been celebrating the water communion for many years, and it is a common practice among many Unitarian Universalist congregations. But it hasn't always existed. It started in 1980 when two Unitarian Universalist women, Carolyn McDade and Lucille Shuck Longview, were asked to create a worship service for the Women and Religion Continental Convocation of Unitarian Universalists. As they shaped that service, McDade and Longview wanted to create a new ritual that spoke to our connectedness to one another, to the totality of life, and to our place on this planet. They included a new inclusive symbol of women's spirituality: water. The November service, held in East Lansing, Michigan, was called Coming Home Like Rivers to the Sea. The ritual was held in a semicircle surrounding an earthenware bowl. They asked 8 different women, each coming from distant places, to bring water, and they did. There was water from the Rio Grande, there was rainwater from Maryland, water from both the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, and others. And they were all poured into the earthenware bowl as each bearer described its significance. As the ritual is continued, says Carolyn McDade, water deepens in meaning for us, just as water deepens during its long and winding journey to the sea. As we carry this tradition forward, how has water deepened in meaning for us?
Communion means sharing our deepest thoughts and feelings in a community of love. Our ritual of water communion is a time to share our deepest thoughts and feelings about water, mingling our water in the love of this community. Every Sunday, we place the stones of our sharing in the water of our community. And on this day, we remember that all water is one water. Water is absorbed into the air and clouds, then rained down to the earth, flowing through creeks and streams and rivers out to the oceans. Then it's absorbed back into the air and clouds to return again as rain. Water in me might have been water in you, or in a bear, or in corn. We are all in the cycle of water, the cycle of life. The water makes us one. With some of us online and some of us on site today, we are like 2 rivers flowing together. Today, you may have some water to share from some place that you visited this summer, or from somewhere that is important to you, which might have been your home. For those online, this is a time to find your water, or simply find some water and give it your own meaning. If you are here and didn't bring water, there's water here in the bowl on the table. So let's just pause for a moment and take a breath. And as we breathe, consider what water means to you. How has the meaning of water deepened for you? And as we hold our reflections in our hearts, we begin our water communion ritual with water from the Salish Sea, gathered here in Olympia, the water imbued with the spirit of the native people, our neighbors, on whose land we are today. And next, we add water from last year's water communion service. It sits on a shelf in my office all year long. Every year, for as far back as we can remember, water has been saved from each water communion service and brought into the ritual in the next year. This water connects us to our ancestors and to our history. And I learned this morning that we have some special water to be shared that also connects us to our history. Billy Clark is here today, and Billy was right up here in front. Billy was part of the All Souls Fellowship that broke off from OUUC in the late 90s. And that fellowship existed for a long time and disbanded a couple of years ago. Billy is back with us today and is bringing water from All Souls' very last water communion service to share. Thank you so much, Billy, and welcome back. Welcome back, Billy. So I'm going to invite the folks online to share their water. And right before we do that, for those on site here, let's say hello to our folks online. I know you can see them up there, but the camera is actually back there. So wave to the camera. We'll wave to the folks who are online and welcome you into this ritual. So for those online, if you have water to share, hold it up so we can see it. And we will pour water into our bowl, symbolizing your water. And as we do so, we invite you to hold up your water, maybe even pour it or drink it if you like. And when you're done, feel free to share in the chat. Feel free to share in the chat what is the meaning of your water. And for those here on site today, we've placed butcher paper in the commons for you to share the meaning of your water. Please write that down. We'll gather that and what is shared in the chat, and we'll share that this next week, most likely in the Spark on Thursday. So I invite you now to come forward to share your water by placing it in our bowl. We'll start with this side, and it might be best if you come up by the center aisle and return by the side aisle to the back. And let's hear some music as we share our water.
There'll be a time when the choir gets to go.
flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. And there's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. Yes, there's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. I've got peace. It's like a river, and I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul.
We bless this water with these words from Mel Hoover, Rose Eddington, and Susan Carlson. Water unites us. All water is one water, shape-shifting as it goes on and on in its unending cycle. The stream we gather by unites us with all the waters of the world, for all of life depends on water. That's why this common, everyday element on which our very lives depend is sacred. In our thankfulness for water, let us remember to honor, cherish, and care for it, for our own lives, for all life touched by water, and for those who come after us.
Waters gathered here remind us of what each of us brings into this community. May we remember the waters that nourished us before we were even born. May we protect the waters that continue to give us sustenance and energy for our life journey and for all creatures on earth. Amen, and blessed be.
Each Sunday, we engage in the spiritual practices of generosity and gratitude by joining together in service to our community and to something greater than ourselves. We combine our gifts to create an offering and express our gratitude to the gifts that life has given us, for the network of relationships in which we live, and for the presence of this community. If you're new or visiting us for the first or second time, you're our guest, and we don't expect you to contribute. However, if you're moved to be part of our offering, what you share will be most gratefully received. The offering collected here does two things. It supports the ongoing work of Olympia UU, which is also supported by our regular pledges. This offering also supports an organization that serves our community in harmony with our Unitarian Universalist values. For the months of July and August, our Share the Plate organization was the Hackey Farm Collective. Because of your generosity, we sent $2,452.28 to this organization so they can continue their traditional and sustainable farming in indigenous communities. Your generosity also provided $350.33 to the OUUC Ministers Benevolence Fund to help those in our community in need. Thank you. Our Share the Plate organization for September and October is the Black Power Pathways, a mutual aid fund. The Black Powers Initiative's mission is to empower and create financial access for Black people to have the power to determine the destiny of our Black community. With this ultimate vision, one small but significant first step is to provide emergency financial support in the form of small, low-barrier emergency financial aid, cash grants to Black people in need to keep them from slipping through the cracks in this inequitable system we live in. They're also a project of Black Power Pathways, formerly known as a Pathway to Hope. They're Black-led startup nonprofit with the long-term mission of helping formerly incarcerated people find paths to community support, housing, and economic stability. You can participate in the offering by making a donation online through the church website or by texting the number that will appear on the screen. There it is. You can also mail a check to Olympia UU or place your offering in one of the baskets being passed by the ushers. We each have the power to share, and when we combine our gifts, together we're able to do more than any of us can do alone. May the offering now be generously given as it is gratefully received.
Welcome back, choir. Thank you so much for your generous gifts in all the ways that we share them. We came together this morning with hearts full of all that is in our lives. Let's open our hearts to the complexity of life as we place stones in the water of community. You will hear a heartbeat as we share today. It brings into our awareness that our individual hearts beat, and together we create the heartbeat of our community. So right now, let's just take a deep breath together. In and out. And let's open our hearts to receive the complexity of all that is in our lives and our community today. Frank Winters shares that his brother Bill Winters died last Sunday. Bill suffered from multiple myeloma for several years, and it ended his life. Frank shares that Bill was a devout Baha'i and will be remembered by his community with a graveside service. Frank, we mourn with you, and we offer wishes that Bill's spirit may be at peace. Tessa Schultze shares the hard news that former OUUC member Ruby Elliott has been diagnosed with metastatic pancreatic cancer. Tessa and Ruby have been friends for years, and they stayed in touch after Ruby moved away a few years ago to be near her children. While attending OUUC, Ruby acted as a greeter. I can remember her bright smile. She continued attending OUUC online throughout COVID. Ruby says she is doing as well as she can and asks us to keep her in our hearts through these difficult days. Tessa, we send our love and care to Ruby and to you. For those online today, I invite you to share from your heart by entering in the chat. Those of us in the sanctuary will be able to see your sharing on the screen. And for those on site today, I invite you to come forward if there is something you would like to bring into this community. You may place a stone in the water as you hold your sharing in your heart. Please come up through the side aisle and go back to your seat by the center aisle. So let's hear the heartbeat of our community and reach out our hearts in love and care to all who share on this day. We'll place a stone in the water for all that has been shared online, shared from the heart. And one more stone placed in the water for all that we hold in our hearts and that remains unspoken. I invite you to be in whatever way is comfortable for you for prayer and meditation. And I invite you to place your hands over your heart. Take a breath and see if you can feel your heartbeat. And now bring into your awareness those whom you love, those who are closest to you. And imagine opening your heart to those whom you love. You might even open your hands to symbolize your open heart. And as you breathe, imagine your heart open to them with love. And as you return your hands to your heart, bring into your mind and awareness your neighbors, your coworkers, your acquaintances, those people in our lives in the next circle out. Imagining opening your heart to those people in your life. You might open your hands to symbolize opening your heart. And as you breathe, imagine your heart open to them with love. And as you return your hands to your heart, now bring to mind all people, all beings in this world. Imagine a circle or a web as big as you can make it. Imagine opening your heart to all beings in that interconnected web. And you might open your hands wide to symbolize your open heart. And as you breathe, imagine your heart open to all that is with love. And as we breathe and open our hearts wide, let's hold a moment of silence together.
Let's remain seated and sing together, There is a Love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love.
Some people suggest that we have lived through 3 pandemics in recent years: a public health crisis named COVID-19, a pandemic of racial injustice, and a pandemic of economic injustice. And we lived through all of this in the context of a climate emergency. Some experts have noted that the collective trauma we have experienced due to these pandemics is like that of a world war. And while COVID-19 was a new virus, pandemics caused by viruses are not new, perhaps rare, but not new. And neither are economic and racial injustices new. But the 3 together made each of them even more terrible. The virus hit poor communities and communities of color harder than wealthier and whiter communities because of all kinds of inequality in access to health care, in access to health insurance, and mistrust of the government based on a lot of history. For 3 years, the waves have been pushing us around. Shh. Some of us more than others, and it has been pretty overwhelming for all of us. And right about now, we might be asking, what the heck just happened? Psychologists say that humans need, even crave, 3 things. In any situation, we ask 3 questions. Am I safe? Do I belong? Can I matter? This colorful image by artist John Hayne captures the complexity and nuance of these 3 questions. Am I safe means, can I take risks in your company? Am I safe to reveal my true self to you? Are my most precious memories and closest held secrets safe with you? Now, safety isn't the same thing as comfort, because taking risks is uncomfortable. Safety means being willing to risk being uncomfortable. In fact, we have to take risks in order to stretch and grow. Scientists say that we learn in the zone of optimal confusion. Isn't that a great phrase? Optimal confusion. That's enough confusion to motivate us to problem solve and learn something new, but not so much confusion that we shut down. Living in the zone of optimal confusion requires the skill of tolerating discomfort and uncertainty, using all the tools that we learn in order to be able to do so, like breathing and connecting with others. And that's the second question we ask: can I belong? Belonging means feeling connected and feeling like we are working together toward shared goals. And the third question, can I matter, means being able to contribute and being acknowledged for doing so. It means having purpose to our lives and our actions. And all put together, safety with belonging and mattering equals trust. When we feel those 3 things, we are able to trust and be trusted. It's our place of solid ground, so we can stretch and grow. And one of the many paradoxes of being human is that true safety, true belonging, and true mattering or true purpose requires being vulnerable and keeping our heart open. Now, that for sure is something we want to be wise about. There are some times when we have to calm ourselves down long enough to determine if we are truly in danger or just uncomfortable. Because discomfort is what happens when we learn new things. And we have to remember that in order to grow, in order to connect, we have to remain open, even when we feel like it's a bit risky. Even when God has troubled those waters, even when the waves have pushed us around. Hearts wide open in a zone of optimal confusion. So what helps you keep your heart wide open? For me, it's quiet contemplation, often in nature, and connecting with others. This introvert needs both of those things. What helps you keep your heart wide open? If you are on site, when you came in, I hope you received a paper heart. And I invite you to take a moment now or sometime in this next half hour or so to write on that heart what helps you keep your heart wide open. And for those online, please feel free to share in the chat what helps you keep your heart open. We'll collect the chat and the hearts. There's a basket out in the Commons, and we'll share that during this week, what your answers are about what keeps your heart open. And if you didn't get a heart, please feel free to pick one up on your way out. So let's just take a moment and a few breaths as you reflect on what helps you keep your heart open even when the waters are troubled. Safety, belonging, mattering. That's not only what we humans crave, it is also the work of a faith community, this faith community. Creating solid ground that we can come back to, safe space for all of us to learn and grow, creating a sense of belonging and welcome for each other just as we are, and joining together in service to our shared goals and purposes. We won't always agree. Community is one place where the waters get troubled. What is important is that we return to covenant and keep our hearts open. As we move into this new congregational year, we know the waves are here and they will push us around. That is just part of life, and it's part of community life. May we invite each other to keep our hearts wide open to learn, to grow, and to be together. Welcome, everyone.
Keep your heart open, 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 keep your heart wide open. Though the waves want to push you around, you gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. bases and altos. Here we go. And keep your arms wide open. Till the waves try to push you around. You gotta keep. I'm gonna keep your arms. I'm gonna keep wide open. Wide open. Your faith brings you back to solid ground. All right, sopranos. To solid ground. And I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep.
If you are online and have a chalice or a candle, please join me as we extinguish our chalice here with words adapted from Brené Brown. My hope is that we find solid ground, that shore that offers safe harbor when we are feeling untethered and adrift. The more confident we are about being able to navigate to that place, the more daring our adventures are, the more connected we are to ourselves and each other. Even when we have no idea where we are or where we are going, with the right map, we can find our way back to our heart and our truest selves. Go in peace, go in joy, go in love.